Stuart Haddon, and he's in Hershey, Pennsylvania, and we all know what Hershey is. It's the home of classic cars. So with that being said, welcome to America's Web Radio, Stuart.
Well, good morning, and thank you for having me. I will clear one thing up, though. I'm in Morgantown, just east of Hershey by about an hour.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
Not a problem.
All you Yankees there, you're just up there, you know.
Hey, I'm transplanted from...
Let's talk Venezuelan.
Let's talk Venezuelan. And we are here with the legend, David Moxley and Brett. Hello, Brett.
Hello.
How are you? David,
See.
it was a hectic week, let me tell you. Whoa, this lady covered the Georgia's convention on the GOP, on the Republican Party. That happened since?
Last weekend.
Last weekend. And where was this located?
That was located, the whole state, the 159 counties supposed to be meeting, representative from every county. GOP representative supposed to be meeting on Jekyll Island.
Oh, in Jekyll Island?
Jekyll Island, yeah, Jekyll Island.
The famous
the-
Jekyll Island.
Oh, yeah, I've been there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very nice.
It is.
It
yeah.
is very nice. The
But
water was a little dirty. I don't know, probably because of the hurricane. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the water was like a brownish. Yeah, something was weird about
No,
that.
and-
Or probably the water knew that the Republicans were coming and
Remember that I say the infamous Jekyll Island because in a meeting in 1913 they create two things: the Federal Reserve Bank and the IRS.
in the Jekyll Island.
Yes.
Here in Georgia.
Here in
Okay, that
Georgia.
explains a lot.
Where was the meeting? Did the meeting happen to be in Jekyll Island Club?
In the convention center.
Oh, in the convention center.
In
Okay,
the
yeah,
convention
yeah.
center, they had the hotels, the Marriott,
Yes,
you know.
the largest Republican convention in the state for the last 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was incredible big.
The establishment and the rhinos were scared.
Yes.
They were
And-
very
and
scared.
Basically, they lost.
They basically lost most. The county conventions, they had a new leadership. The district convention, they hold on into that. When I say in them, the rhinos and the establishment, they hold on into this district. But when it comes to the state, they couldn't appoint the person that they choose. So they the people reelected the David Schaefer, which is the same one from last year, and for the first chair was Mr. Van G, and then for the second chair was Bram Frost, and the treasurer and the secretary still the same because nobody didn't want to run for those positions. So basically, there was only 4 different elections at the end of the day on Saturday. But I want to tell you what happened on Friday when I got there. So I left Covington around 1 o'clock in the morning. I spent half of the night in my friend's house, and Ronnie and me, we drove all the way to Jekyll Island, and we reached there at 7 o'clock in the morning. We were talking on the way over there, and it was nice. It was dark, not many traffic, nice. We got there at 7 o'clock, and then the doors were open at 7 o'clock at the convention, but the registration started at 10 o'clock. So when I got there, I went with my press,
The press pass?
my press pass, and then I went with the RASI pass too. So when I get there, I tried to talk to the people who are organizing all this, letting them know, here is my letter. I'm coming here, for the press. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you register? I said, no, I didn't register. Well, you're supposed to be registered at least 2 weeks ago. And I say,
Time out.
Okay.
Since when the press must register to cover the news?
Good question.
Since when?
So anyways,
That's not the White House.
Yeah.
that you have to get
clear, right? To have
clear,
clearance and all that.
clearance.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I did not register those. So they said, I asked him, so you cannot do nothing for me. No, I'm sorry, we cannot accommodate you. When I get in there, there was a long table with different chairs where these people were sitting. You know, AJC, different outlets. News was there, and I say, okay, now it makes sense why they say we cannot accommodate you. But in the corner over here, there was Frederick Radio, and then in the other corner was another guy, and then over there was empty. I could get a chair and sit down in the corner. I have no problem with that. But you know what? I didn't want to make it difficult because I have a second ace car under my slot. All right? So what I did is, because I am a member of the GOP, COP GOP, I registered myself to attend the district convention and the state convention. So when I registered, they sent me back an email, congratulations, you are registered, you know? And then I say, okay, let me take a picture of this. I took a picture in the computer when they put it, I took a picture, I save it, and then I received the letter, the email saying congratulations, your confirmation, delegate. They put delegate / alternate. I was assigned to be an alternate. And I was not going to fight with nobody for them to move me from alternate to delegate. I just let them do what they do, right? Because I want to be a witness. So when I got there, the guy said, Johsie Cruz. He said, yeah, Johsie Cruz. Okay, let me look into. He started looking in the computer and he said, oh, you are not registered. And I say, no, sir, that's not my. I mean, the Cruz is part of my last name. But my last name is the Samuddin, the long one. And since when you go to this event, they ask you for your identification that has to match with what you in the system. Oh, you are not Johsie Cruz. You are Josira Cruz is Samuddin.
Whatever.
So, anyways, oh no, you are not registered. So I pull out my cell phone. Hold on. So I took the cell phone. I showed in the picture. Say here. This says that I am a delegate in the district, and an alternate in the district, and I am alternate in the state. Well, but you are not in the system. Hold on. So me, with all my patience, I pull out my emails, and then I look for the email. It says, congratulations. I show it to you. I say, look, this email is coming from you guys. I am registered. What I have to do now is pay in order for me to get in. That's all. Well, I said, look, I don't know how you're going to fix it. So could you please, in the meantime, register Ronnie as a guest? So he registered, but he was like this, looking at her like this. And you know what I love about my friends? Is they are white.
Yeah.
And they protect me. The guy was smelling something was rotten. So he went like this and he looked at her like this, like, okay, what are you gonna do? She's showing you all the proof. So basically, bottom line, at the end, okay, Johsie, you are an alternate, and we're gonna register it. You have to pay $150, and he $50, so it's $200. Okay, here it is. A few minutes later, I saw David Schaefer coming. And then I said, I waited for her and asking, hey, David Schaefer, these people over here, they didn't allow me this and this, telling him exactly what I was telling you guys.
The actual president of the GOP.
Yeah, the David Schaefer. And I said, well, they didn't help me out. And, the good thing is I am an alternate. And he says, Johsie, to tell you the truth, if you would be the press at the moment of voting time, we would have removed you with the rest of the press because we don't allow the press to be at the moment of voting time. But if you are an alternate, I suggest you to keep on doing your job, reporting to your 20,000 Spanish people and to America's Web Radio, reporting what you have to do, and you are free to move around wherever you want with your alternate registration. And so that's the way that I got into it. And he confirmed, no, it's better for you to be like that because on that way nobody can take you. And I was a witness on the voting, I saw how many people voted for this people, for that person, all that. It was good. But the tricks that these people play during the meetings, it was awful. For example, the voting is supposed to be secret, right? They didn't bring no paper ballot. They wanted people to take an iPad, and people using the iPad to vote with the iPad. You know what that means?
Yeah.
You know what that means?
It's,
Hacking. Hacking, right?
Yeah, it's hacking.
Hacking. That's what it means, hacking. So people got upset. We don't want to vote with no iPad or software. None. We want to vote with paper ballots. Well, we don't have no paper ballots. Okay, well, we want to vote, but we are not definitely. We're going to, and they voted out the possibility of voting with iPad or with the application.
With the phones or the application.
Exactly. So, bottom line, they decided that people were going to vote by standing. That's another violation.
Not very
There is-
secret either.
No, it's not secret. So, I met somebody, one of my friends. He says that he saw that one person voted for the same slot, which is, let's say, the first vice chair. That person voted for the 3 candidates in 3 different occasions. When they say get up, so get up. You know? So it was weird. A lot of people, when they saw my face, some of them run away from me. Like, for example, Garrett Ashley, he didn't want to face my face. Like DJ Dearman, the chairman of the Jackson, I say, hey, how you doing, Johsie Cruz? And he went like this. You know?
They don't have cojones.
They don't have no avocados. So, but then in the other hand, a lot of people recognize me. Johsie Cruz, hug me. Thank you for the job that you are doing. You know, we follow you. Everything that you are writing point when you're saying this, about, you know. I mean, it gave me a little satisfaction knowing that the job that I'm doing, which is free, we don't get paid for that, right? But it's my obligation as American citizen to defend this country, to defend the state of Georgia, because if we think about it, Georgia was given to the communists in the last election. So now, guess who I talked in the convention during? I saw Kelly Loeffler promoting her possible Senate run. I saw Kevin, how you call it? Calvin King. He's a candidate for the Senate. I saw Secretary of Insurance Commissioner, Mr. King. He was there. He speaks Spanish and English, right?
Well, he was born in Mexico.
In Mexico,
and he studied his college, part of this college in Mexico. But he's also
he's a general. He's like a military in the National Guard. He's very high.
He's a general.
So I basically I met a lot of candidates, but the one that I took pictures I'm promoting is Candice Taylor. So Candice Taylor, Dr. Candice Taylor, she's running for the governor of Georgia. All right. Of course, the media is not talking about her. They don't want. They're going to be doing some candidate what they did to us.
They are not covering things such as the forensic audit. Already there are officially 10 states in the United States that are doing forensic audits on the November 3rd, 2020 election.
Yeah.
And those states are Arizona, Georgia, Virginia, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Alaska, Colorado, New Hampshire, and Nevada. And there are another 4 states that are discussing right now to do forensic audit on that election. We're not accusing anyone. An audit is simple, a way to know what really happened that day. But let me tell you something. After the experience that happens in Fulton County, these people of the establishment, beginning with Governor Kemp, okay, down all the way
South.
to the last employee in Fulton County, they are hiding something big.
Well, they hired the most expensive criminal attorney, the voter commission election of Fulton. The president of that, he hired this most expensive attorney in the criminal attorney to defend them for the forensic. So we don't know why, because they are just doing an investigation. It's not like they are taking it
No,
to
we're
any
not
court or
accused.
nothing.
You-
So, but
and if the government come to your business and make an audit in different things from the IRS down, they have the right to audit your business. Why don't the citizens have the right to audit the government?
Exactly. So the movement that Dr. Candice Taylor is doing is so important because it's based on the Constitution.
Yes.
The Constitution, there is part in the Constitution that gives the people, the authority to not only put grievances, right?
Yes.
Like Anthony Holcomb did with the signatures.
Yes.
But also,
By
is
the
putting
way, when Anthony Holcomb asked the governor and the Secretary of State to recall them because the results on the election, do you know what happened?
They sue him back.
They sue him back. Okay, and we will be talking about all these themes after this message. Take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, join me, Roger B., every Tuesday at 1400 hours right here on America's Web Radio for the Locked and Loaded Show. We will talk about guns, weapons, ammo, gun accessories, prepping, and so much more. So be sure to join us every Tuesday at 1400 or 2 p.m. for Locked and Loaded on America's Web Radio.
Hi, this is Rocky Blair, former four-time Super Bowl champion with the Pittsburgh Steelers and Vietnam veteran. As a board member, I'd like to talk to you about Warriors to Citizen, a nonprofit organization that helps American heroes, soldiers, police, fire, EMT, and their families recover from the psychological harm caused by career-induced stress. Over the last 20 years, broken relationships have been a major causal factor for the highest documented divorce rate and resulting suicides in this population. This program, From Warriors to Citizen, is delivered free to families by professionals, all whom served in uniform and understand the needs to be addressed. I ask for your support, so please go to our website, warriorstocitizen.org, and find out how you can help, either by making a donation or sharing this information with an American hero that you may know. And thank you.
You're listening to America's Web Radio on the AmericasBroadcastNetwork.com. Thank you for listening.
And we're back on America's Web Radio with Let's Talk Venezuelan, and Josie's talking about the Georgia Republican convention that she just attended. And question, Josie, was our Fulton County Republican chairman Trey Kelly there?
He wasn't there. Susan Oprasai was there. She's the real legal one, duly elected as a Fulton chair. Trey Kelly doesn't want to let go. Did I talk to candidates? Yes, I talked to, like I say, commissioner, insurance commissioner. He's running because he was appointed. Remember, he was appointed by the governor, but now he has to run. So he's running. I interview another guy who's a black guy. I don't remember his name. He's running for the Secretary of State position. I saw Jody Hayes, who was there too. I spoke with his cousin. We were talking a long time about the whole family and how, Trump is endorsing Jody Hayes for that position. And then I met other like Jeannie River. She's running for lieutenant governor, and she's from the Chatham, from that area of Georgia, from the nice, beautiful vacation area. I didn't want to come back. It was so nice over there. So anyways, it was a lot of candidates over there, Of course, the regular one who were running for the state position as a GOP Republicans, right? And I spoke with Jason Shepard. I spoke with Surrea Ivy. I spoke with David Schaefer. I spoke with that was for the chair. For the first chair, I spoke with Marcia. I spoke with Mr. Van G, the one who ended up winning. And then I spoke for the second chair. I spoke with Brad Frost, and he ended up winning. He got like a 2 challengers more. And when this guy, Carl Smith, said that he was running against, against this guy, everybody started booing him. Ooh, why? Because Carl Smith is the chair of Chatham. He adjourned the meeting of Chatham when he figured out that all the people who attended to the convention of Chatham, the majority were Trump supporters. And he adjourned the meeting without having the election. So in consequences, that election affected the district election too, because the election of district number 1 couldn't pass through, because not only that, but another district, another county was having the same problem. These people, the establishment, the Rhino, didn't want to let go. So they took this situation now to the state, and they're supposed to be fixing that this week after they elect, after they re-elected the chairman. But the whole thing is, those counties didn't have no delegates. Those counties didn't have no representation. They couldn't vote. They were discriminated because they were Trump supporters, or because they were grassroots people who are tired of seeing the result of political career politicians doing what they're doing in Georgia and bring us to this big mess.
So basically what I'm hearing you say is that the GOP convention stunk as much as the election.
Yes, definitely. But there's something very curious, because the highlight of the convention was the presentation of Governor Kemp. Okay?
He got the nerves to go to the convention to promote his re-election.
And the booing was so hard. And something happens when these people passed the political things of Kemp, and they passed the things to Johsie. And do you know what Johsie did? In front of everyone, and everyone.
A lot of people start doing that after me. They are so upset with Kemp. Those little.
Yeah, but you know what? That may be opening the door for our ugly friend Abrams.
Yes,
Yes,
because
no.
I believe we have a strong Republicans who can beat Kemp. The problem that we're having with Kemp, and I want to say it right here, is the rhinos and the establishment who are holding the money. Listen, the money, and they are funneling the money just to Kemp to make him be re-elected again. But people, the one who defines the election here is not the money, it's the people, it's the grassroots. The grassroots don't want Kemp. And I've been hearing many people from the convention, I would rather vote for an independent or for a libertarian than voting for Kemp back again, because there is no possible excuse that we don't have a strong Republican here in Georgia who can run against him. And he don't have to be Vernon Jones.
No,
because Vernon Jones just
he's not a Republican. Vernon Jones is the classical socialist that in Venezuela we said saltó la talanquera. That means he jumped
from one party to another party.
He jumps the fence, okay? And he says, I am candidate because there is no Republican candidate that can. Hey, listen.
That's not true.
That's not true.
That's not true. There is 4 candidates out there. If you go to politics1.com, to that website, you're gonna find out every candidate for every single position in Georgia from the Republican Party and the Democratic Party and the Libertarian Party. Okay? Politics, POLITICS #1.com. And then you click on the state of Georgia.
But more important right now is that they also must go to americaswebradio.com and patronize this station. If you are patronizing people as PBS or NPR,
Oh, no.
don't
Don't.
go to America's Web Radio and put that money into America's Web Radio, because in this station, even though we are heavily censored by people as Google and their division of
Twitter and
Twitter
YouTube.
and YouTube. Okay, this is the real deal.
This is the real news.
Okay.
So what's going on is, David, do you know that Brian Kemp just passed a week ago a law there where he can have triple time more donation because he's the incumbent than the rest of the candidates who are running against him, and he passed that as a law?
No,
Do
I
you
wasn't aware of that.
look? We cannot be talking about Stacey Abrams and Kemp in the next elections if we don't know what happened with the election on November the 3rd.
Exactly.
That's why it's so important to resolve the forensic audit as soon as possible. So when November next year,
after what happens in Fulton County, this forensic audit must go statewide.
yes. Well, this is the thing. Dr. Candice Taylor served Kemp 2 weeks ago as a citizen. We want forensic audit. We the people request forensic audit. He didn't like it. He was upset. But the thing is, she's asking him to start the forensic audit in Georgia. She's asking him for Fulton and Chatham, those two. I talked to her. I called her. Okay, Candice, explain me why Fulton and Chatham and not Fulton and DeKalb.
Or the
No. She said those two because they have the same way of how they did the election, the same rules and the same. Those two counties are the same. I said, oh, okay. After that one, when we get those two, I'm gonna go after DeKalb. I'm gonna go after Clayton. I'm gonna go after Fulton, after Cobb. So the important thing here is, like I said to a guy, we cannot be talking about election next year if we don't know what happened in this election. Bottom line, why? Because people are not going to go vote because they don't have trust in the system anymore. So this is imperative. This is urgent.
Yeah, and
we need to do the forensic audit.
And with this kind of laws that this governor passed, that have, okay, you have a law, but you don't have a penalty clause on that law.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what happens when you don't have consequences when you break the law? They break the law. Period.
Mm-hmm.
This governor is the worst what happened in this state in the last 100 years.
Because
And let me tell you something. I was one of the people who organized Latinos for Kemp because the President Trump asked us to support Kemp, but not anymore. Not anymore. Okay? Candice Taylor is the one. She's the real deal.
She's the real deal because she said we cannot talk about the next election until we resolve what happened in this. We need to give back to people confidence in the voting system.
And the system.
And without it, a lot of people are going to stay home.
Yeah.
A lot of people are going to stay home. A lot of candidates will not even run.
Uh-huh.
Because some of them are already talking about why I'm going to be giving $5,200 to be a candidate when they already are choosing who's going to be winning.
No, the other thing, what happened with the money? Do you know that the Republican Party had raised the money for the candidates on the 14 congressional districts to get back into have the majority in the country, in the House, and the money never reached the candidates, and it was about $40,000 per each candidate, and that money never reached out. That's embezzlement.
They collect around $450,000.
500.
Around $500,000.
Yes.
Okay, let's round it up, estimate, So there is 14 congressional districts. That money was supposed to be helping the candidates to get the control of the House in Washington, D.C. So here Georgia has 14 candidates. I was one of those candidates. I never received $39,000.
And the guy responsible was Joe Prince. So he's the responsible on that investment.
What I heard is the chief, in this case, David Schaefer, get together with one guy and they collect all this money from donation, right?
Yeah.
He's the one who bring all these people together and they put money, and then he take the money and he take it to the GOP. He take his hand from the money, and then the GOP is the one who decide where the money is gonna go.
Okay, we'll be back after these messages.
The disease of addiction is a life-altering challenge, not just for the person suffering its effects, but also for the family and friends who support and love the one caught in its grasp. What should be the course of treatment? Who is the best person to render treatment? And what is the best place to go for the care that is needed? We know that you want answers to these and many more questions. Call 770-696-9862 and speak to a representative of the Atlanta Healing Center. They can tailor a program specifically designed to address the needs of the person suffering with an addiction, or give you guidance as to where that help may be found. Information is the key, and the trained staff at AHC is here to assist. If you wish, you can also get more information on the website located at www.atlantahealingcenter.com.
Whether cruising the strip in a 57 Chevy or taking the family on a vacation in a 71 Oldsmobile Vista Cruiser, you need to tune in to Classic Cars with Steve Ronaldo and Jim Weber every Saturday from 8 to 9 a.m. on americaswebradio.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, join me, Roger B., every Tuesday at 1400 hours right here on America's Web Radio for the Locked and Loaded Show. We will talk about guns, weapons, ammo, gun accessories, prepping, and so much more. So be sure to join us every Tuesday at 1400 or 2 p.m. for Locked and Loaded on America's Web Radio.
You're listening to America's Web Radio on the AmericasBroadcastNetwork.com. Thank you for listening.
We're back now. Enough from local politics and politicians. And do you remember last week that we were talking about a couple of ships that are coming to Venezuela?
Vessels.
The vessels, okay. Iranian warships thought to be headed to Venezuela left port with 7 high-speed missile boats aboard. The same kind of boats that we have in the Persian Gulf, doing all this trouble in the Persian Gulf against the oil tankers. It's the same kind of boats that they are transporting to Venezuela. And it's very significant that this happened because Venezuela is a country that is flat broke. And these boats, high speed boats like the drug dealers used to have in the Caribbean. Do you remember the cocaine cowboys? Okay, But instead of transport cocaine, what they transport is missiles. And do you know something? I told you, missiles that is launched in Tehran won't reach United States, but a medium-range missile launched from the Caribbean,
From Venezuela, right?
from any part of the Caribbean, can reach any part of the United States in the East Coast, all the way to Texas, all the way to Nevada. So this is a very serious thing. Okay? So the note that is from the USNI News said, an Iranian Navy ship thought to be bound for Venezuela left its port in late April with 7 high-speed missile attack crafts strapped on its decks, USNI News has learned. According to the imaginary provided to USNI News by Maxar, the Iranian Navy's new forward-facing ship, Iris Makran, has seen on April 28th, after leaving its home port with 7 attack boats on board. Last week, citing 3 U.S. officials, Politico reported that the Pentagon believes Makran and an Iranian frigate were steaming down Africa's east coast, ultimately bound for Venezuela. On Monday, Iranian foreign ministry officials assert their rights to operate worldwide when asked about Makran heading to Venezuela. Saeed Khatibzadeh emphasized Iran's legal right to go through all international seas, according to a summary of a Monday press conference from the state-controlled Iran press. Khatibzadeh also warned the U.S. officials about any actions against Iranian ships. Those boats seen in the satellite image match the characteristics of the pickup family of medium-sized fast attack crafts, FAC, operated by the sectarian Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Navy. The IRGNC is responsible for the coastal security of Iran and the Strait of Hormuz, and similar vessels equipped with torpedoes and missiles have been used to harass U.S. ships in the Persian Gulf. And remember the doctrine, America's for America. Okay? The 7 missile craft boat Makran are each approximately 57 feet long and match the pickup family of medium-sized fast attack craft. There are several variations of this craft in Iranian service, although they are generally similar. The latest pickup 2 type, also known as the Babar class, is 57 feet long and can carry 2 anti-ship missiles and 2 12.75-inch torpedoes. The missile could be on the Qasr or Nasra types, which are derived from Chinese model with a quite modest range, about 18 nautical miles. Additionally, the ship could be carrying other military equipment not readily apparent from the images. A converted old tanker, Makran is the Iranian Navy's newest and largest warship. Its new role has been compared to the U.S. Navy's Expeditionary Sea Base, ESB, like the ESB, the 755-foot long. Makran is designed to be a mobile sea base for small boats and aircraft capable of operating anywhere around the world. The conversion added a large flight deck, the capacity to carry boats and other equipment on deck, and additional cargo below. This is a huge ship. It's a 755 long formal old tanker, so they can carry whatever they want, including medium-range missiles. There has been concern that Venezuela may attempt to acquire ballistic missile technology from Iran. Some areas of the desk are now covered, so it has not been possible to assess the full cargo of the ship. Venezuela regime, led by President Nicolás Maduro, has talked openly about acquiring arms from Iran. Meanwhile, Iranian special forces belonging to the IRGC's Quds force may already be assisting the Venezuelan military. If the boats are delivered, they may form the core of an asymmetrical warfare force within Venezuela's armed force. This could be focused on disrupting shipping as means of countering superior naval forces. Shipping routes to and from the Panama Canal and near the Venezuela Navy has tried over the last several years to beef up its own coastal defense ships with the acquisition of high-speed attack to enforce its territorial claims over the Caribbean Sea, according to an October entry in Jane's World Navies. Message left with spokespeople in the U.S. Southern and Central Commands on Tuesday were not immediately returned. Pentagon spokesman John Kirby would not confirm the move of Macron or the cargo when asked by USNI News on Tuesday. The Southern Command certainly has the ability to look after our interests, and it's a part of the war, he told reporters. The deployment of Macron comes as Iran and Venezuela are growing closer together. Both governments are under sanctions from the U.S. government and has been restricted for accessing the global market. Last year, the Maduro government exchanged 9 tons of gold for assistance improving their petroleum refineries, report Bloomberg. Iran has also shipped oil to Venezuela. While it's unclear if the crossing of and aboard Macron are meant for the Venezuelan Navy as part of ongoing arms sales of the Iranian will drill with Venezuela on Green Water Force, the presence of boats of an U.S. official believe that the Iranian ship is heading to South America. And we will talking about after this message.
Hi, this is Rocky Blair, former 4-time Super Bowl champion with the Pittsburgh Steelers and Vietnam veteran. As a board member, I'd like to talk to you about Warriors to Citizen, a nonprofit organization that helps American heroes, soldiers, police, fire, EMT, and their families recover from the psychological harm caused by career-induced stress. Over the last 20 years, broken relationships have been a major causal factor for the highest documented divorce rate and resulting suicides in this population. This program, From Warriors to Citizen, is delivered free to families by professionals, all whom served in uniform and understand the needs to be addressed. I ask for your support, so please go to our website, warriorstocitizen.org, and find out how you can help, either by making a donation or sharing this information with an American hero that you may know. And thank you.
The Docs for Patient Care Foundation is your way to join the fight and become a member of an organization created by doctors for patients, dedicated to fighting for your healthcare freedom and preserving the doctor-patient relationship. Get a pen and paper. Write down docs4patientcarefoundation.org. That's DOCS, the number 4, patientcarefoundation.org. Go to our site and please make a generous, tax-deductible donation and join the fight today. Thank you.
If you live to serve and want to make an even bigger difference, consider joining the U.S. Army. With training in fields like medical care, linguistics, and engineering, an Army career can amplify your efforts with humanitarian opportunities all over the world. Plus, you'll receive competitive pay and incredible benefits, so you'll be taken care of, too. Learn more at GoArmy.com.
You're listening to America's Web Radio on the AmericasBroadcastNetwork.com. Thank you for listening.
Okay, we're back.
Do you remember what?
October 1962, Cuba's missiles. Though, did you see the picture? Do you remember that the picture was? This is eerie. This is eerie similar. This is
So
very.
now it's not the Russian. Now are the Islamic Iranian.
Oh no! Let me tell you something. Do you remember Central Madridense, the largest supermarket network
in Venezuela?
In Venezuela, they just sold Central Madridense to an Iranian corporation.
Sold it?
Yeah.
So Iran is going to be supplying the food for Venezuela?
Yes.
So that's going to be a lot of halal food.
Yes.
There's no more pork. There's no more for Venezuela. Olvídense. Forget about it. Pork. Forget about shrimp. Forget about lobsters. Forget about that, because the diet for the Muslims is very strict.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Madeirense store is like a say public here, right?
Yes, like Publix.
It was sold to the Iranian. That means they're going to start conquering Venezuela. They're going to continue conquering Venezuela by their stomach.
Yeah.
Basically, that's what it is.
Basically,
Yeah.
that's what it is. Well, and the
changing their diet.
Yeah.
They're going to be changing their diet.
The diet they have.
Remember what happened with the Cuban got into Venezuela?
Exactly.
They changed the music, they changed the dance, and they changed the diet.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
Now, wait a minute. Venezuela always been to this kind of process?
Yeah, basically, yes.
It's not only the Cuban. Before the Cuban was the Europeans, right?
The Europeans and the Americans, but in a different way. Remember that we have a lot of words that came from English.
Yes, yes.
We know as La Guaya, we named the warrior. The El Guachiman is the watchman. The Echarle Pichon is the push on the engines.
Push on the engine. Okay.
So the Calihueva, okay, is the
try to be less white. Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
I can't try to be less white. How can you try to be less white?
Well, they've been the number one in the world, being white. Now
they don't want to be white.
They don't want to be white.
But they are. I don't get it. I do not get it, the Coca-Cola thing, because, like you say, they are in India. They are present in Pakistan, in India, in Asia, in every country, in Latin America, in South America, in Central America, in Europe. What less than white is that?
And
I mean, they are present in every single country with different races, right? In Africa continent, in the continent, Africa continent,
in all Latin America and in Asia, but you know, there are a phrase that David just told us. Every aspect of the American life right now is political.
It's political.
It's political, and it's enough. It's enough to to fight for the life, okay? To be also fight for the ideas, simple ideas, to have a less white Coca-Cola, you know? Or could be less black, because the product.
The color is black.
The color is black.
It's very dark, you know. So that's why I don't get it. I don't
get
understand.
it. I don't understand. Well, there is another thing that says in the oilprice.com, an article that says that can Biden pull Venezuela back from the brink of collapse? Well, let me tell you something. At the end of the line, everything that President Trump said
is the truth.
Is the truth. And second, when you see what this administration is doing, it's just copycat. Copycat the policies of President Trump. Let me tell you something. President Biden, well,
he's not my president.
He's not my president. That the guy who is right now in the White House is traveling to Europe, and Mrs. Kamala Harris went to Guatemala and Mexico.
Yeah, Central America.
Okay, and they are telling the people that the problem in Central America and Mexico is corruption.
No.
And let me tell you something, David. The problem in Central America is socialism. That's the problem. Okay? Because when you have a lack of freedom,
justice,
and
lack of freedom, lack of justice, justice by law, no social justice, okay?
Exactly.
I'm talking justice by
law.
By lack of freedom and lack of responsibility.
And then you have corruption. So the problem is the socialist policies that those countries have from the last 80 years. That's the main problem. When you have an economy that is free, at the beginning would be an adjustment situation, but after that you have an economy that is flourishing. Trump demonstrated, Reagan demonstrated that concept. But the problem in Central America and Mexico is basically that they don't have.
In Venezuela too.
Yeah, they never have an economy based on true open market. No. All that they have is what we know as the mercantilism. That means that certain people are playing into the capitalism, but the condition is that they must be near the administration, that is
the family or the friend,
exactly,
or the closest
so the free market doesn't exist on those places, and it's not corruption, it's socialism. And the problem is that socialism, if they are not addressing the socialism system in Latin America, nothing will happen.
Not a change. It's going to go worse and worse and worse.
And the worst thing is that people as National Public Radio are misleading people. Yesterday I heard that they said that the inflation that now we have in the United States is consequence of the reopening of the economy. No way. The inflation came for the emission of money without support of the GDP. That's the inflation. Okay? And National Public Radio is misleading people with this kind of concepts.
That's
because
what they do.
because they are basically a socialist mind way to say things. No way. Don't mislead people. If you want to support a real radio, come over here. Come to America's Web Radio. Go to our page and patronize us. Go to the what's the part of the website that they can Patreon. Okay. Come over here and patronize us, because it's not only this program that says the truth based on real sources. We have a lot of programs that David, you can tell us about the variety of programs that America's Web Radio have.
Well, we have a number from our Doctor's Lounge that was today, a Veteran's Story yesterday. We have a number. We have shows all day long, and I'm just picking a couple that you might want to listen to. The one yesterday, a Veteran's Story, was the story of a young lady that became a nurse and was sent to Vietnam, and some of her stories from Vietnam will curl your hair, to say the least. And the others today we took on YouTube that had penalized us for a week because we said one of our doctors, who happens to be an expert on it, had said hydrochloroquine, and that it was good, and now they're coming out with the fact that that's true. It is.
Yes.
They're proving that
Lancet had to make an apology for what they said against that product. We don't mention the products, but we mentioned that these two New England journal also say so, that they are sorry because the information that they gave at the beginning was false.
All of it.
It
was a made-up story.
And after the light on the emails of Dr. Fauci, we said, there's something wrong on this picture, and we've been telling the true things March last year.
But you asked, this is just a couple of the programs that we have. Obviously, your all's program today, and we tell the truth. And the truth will make you free.
Bingo.
You know? And we're out of time, so we're going to put the plug in the jug, wrap it up, and thank you all, and stay tuned for the Let's Talk Venezuelan in Spanish. En Espanol.
Castellano!
And we'll be back after this.
Hi, this is Rocky Blair,